This is the kind of talent spotting question now, which is going to be the last one. Ken Robinson, who's a great speaker, said that the really, really good leaders, so that kind of your time and effort and activity gets you there, and then when you're there, you need to be relaxed and not running around like a lunatic. It's that kind of, what got you here won't get you there thing. And Ken Robinson says that the really, really good future leaders you have to look for, because the people that get promoted are the ones that are, the show ponies with a big flag saying, hey, look at me. But the really, really good ones are the ones that you have to kind of, scrape the top surface off and go and find. How do you make sure that you're recognizing the really, really good future leaders rather than the kind of presenteeism gang?
Again, I think it's making sure that you've got feedback loops right the way through the organisation. I think what you're going to find is what's really, really interesting is when I go in our jobs, and again, if I go and talk to our project manager, who's your talent on the job, and or the site manager, and I'll get a list of names, and then I'll go and talk to the general foreman on the job and say, who's the talent on the job? Who makes your life easier? Who helps you be successful? I get a completely different set of names. I tend to focus on the latter, not the former.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are wallflowers,
yeah.
And they're very, very good at that. And what's really tough is I think I talked a lot about transparency. I'm a firm believer in actually telling your talent that you are the talent. Not to give them a big head or whatever it is or something like that, but to help in their development, their growth and everything. But there's a consequence to doing that, because equally you've got to tell them when you're no longer in those talent pools and everything else like this. And what happens in a lot of companies is people are uncomfortable doing that. So these people that get identified keep on going up,
yeah.
But they don't have the capability or the wherewithal to actually be the future revered leaders. So having that feedback through the organisation, who are the people that make everyone else's life easier? That's the people that you need to get behind and support.
Yeah, and it's difficult because it's like you choose 100 footballers at 15 and make it 80 at 16. And so you have to say to people, I know last year I told you were going to be a superstar, but turns out you're not. And then they go to Crewe and then go to Chelsea and become 100 million, and then you have to go, I got that wrong. Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? But it's I joke about, and there are people in this room who are on corporate kind of talent kind of things that I call Hitler Youth, because I think these things need lampooning, because you kind of see the wrong people on them, do you know what I mean? And but it all almost feels to me as if the company's decided they need to find some talent, so they've gone for some kind of schmutzy process, and they're kind of turning up for 2 days a month at some high-performing kind of, some hotel somewhere and getting a course. But it feels as if the leadership have kind of abrogated the responsibility to find out who the actual talent are. Were you on the Bechtel Hitler Youth?
I think I'm still in it.
Nobody's told you. You're not. But I think that's maybe something that people could have another think about, because it feels to me like part of leadership is finding the talent on your own, finding it yourself, rather than delegating it over to.
Look. I think what's really important is in any of these programs how you set people up as they go into them, telling them that this is something that through your career you can transition in and out of.
Yes, that's very good.
Based on the dynamics of the balance that you need in your work life, I think is really, really important. Another way that I get to promote change in these leadership pools is you could artificially impose some constraint where you say to people, you know what, you only get your new people into the pool by taking some people out. And that creates a very, very interesting discussion in the organisation, believe me, but maybe drives some of the behaviours that you want.
Yeah, brilliant. Alasdair Cathcart.
Thank you very much.